So you guys were one. I'm hearing a lot of you guys. You guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that. And when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So it's shorter. There you go. Crazy Cat Lady Gamer Reviewer or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purpose.
Hi everybody, Martha here. So today we're reviewing Doctor Sleep. I know it's been a while since I've done a new review. That's because, you know why. But I decided to watch a new movie. I downloaded it onto my PlayStation and watched it. It was now for people who don't know, what the heck is Doctor Sleep? Well, for people who were not, for a lot of you youngers out there who have not seen The Shining, that was made back in 1980. This is the sequel to that. And not many people know there's a sequel to it, to The Shining. Man, this movie was great. Because that The Shining movie was made back in 1980. And this movie was made last year. And the fact they made a lot of the actors that they found to play like Jack, Terrence, Little Danny, Wendy, and Dick, those four people who were in The Shining, and they found actors that look just like them. See, I like this better when they do movies like this, when they make it look like the actor, when they find actors that look just like them, or make them look like them, instead of doing some dumb CGI trick boogery when they put what they looked like back then on top of somebody. Nope, they just made these four people look just like them. And when I saw Dick talk to older Danny in this, I thought it was actually the same exact actor from The Shining. I had to look it up to see if it was it or not. It's not, but man, the person they got to play um, Jack Torrance in this movie looked just like Jack Nicholson, like he did back then. And the person they got to play Wendy in this movie looks like I forgot her name, but I'll leave it right here. But and little Danny, that kid looks like him. So I saw the trailer for this like last year. I didn't get to watch it because, well, I have a hard time with horror movies. I mean, I've not watched The Shining since then, since I was a little kid, and how much it made me afraid of my dad doing that to me. But now me watching this movie watching Doctor Sleep as an adult made me understand that movie a lot better. It wasn't the fact because that wasn't just the booze that did that to Jack that made him go back to Danny. It was the ghost possessing him too. So they found people. There's people that were just like the ghosts knew were shining, that were just like in the Overlook, except for these people are alive, and they go after kids who have the shine, who are able to read people's minds and stuff like that, and talk to each other without talking. And so they have killed about around the same exact time when Danny was still a kid. There's a little girl named Violet who ended up dying that they killed. Like they take over essence basically, and sink in. And they can, all these people are shining. Because there's the crow, then there's the old guy, then there's Rosie, and then they eventually they find the snake, who is a girl who can control people's mind and make them think what she wants them to do. All she has to do is tell them, and they do it. Like she makes a guy forget to look for her by giving them by cutting her, making it think that it's a snake bite in the movies. So, and they make her one of them, but she was a Shining too, because she's able to control people's minds. So they call them different names, because a couple years passed by, I would say, for them to use Violet all the way up, because they found Violet back in 1980, and they find the baseball boy, 2019, because that's when they make this where, and so basically almost 30 years, where it takes them for them to get a new kid, basically. And Danny has to put all the overlooked ghosts inside boxes, so they stop bugging him and want to make him go back to the Overlook. Because every time he goes to the bathroom, he sees the girl from 237 in the bathtub, the old lady who never wears clothes, and so we see that's the one we mostly see in this movie is her, and he keeps on seeing Dick, who helps him get through this and make him realize he has to put all of them in boxes and stuff like that. And so we see the older Danny here, and he just like his dad Jack, he is dealing with being an alcoholic, because I'm guessing he blames himself for what he did the fact that he had to kill his own dad, because he made his dad die of hypothermia, basically freezing to death, and because that's the only way he can get out of there. So, and I bet that's why he went to, and he was trying to hide who he was, so, from the world, because these guys never find him. And he was able to make it to adulthood, unlike Violet, unlike the baseball kid who they find in this year, and where he's able to tell when he before he hits the ball, he reads the pitcher's mind, and they end up. So then when he's walking home, where's this kid's mom? I'm not blaming his mom, but if his mom was with him, he would have probably not would have been taken. Why was his mom not let him, would not drove him home? Or the same thing with Violet's mom. Why did she go with her to get roses? If there was an adult with them, this probably would not happen. I'm not. So, yeah, because Abra feels the poor baseball kid die, and watches them because she dreams about it. And Abra was able to make a bunch of spoons go to the ceiling when she was 5 years old, and she basically has been talking to Danny and telling him everything. And then when the baseball kid dies, she writes "red rum" on the wall. So yeah, and this is when Abra decides to kill Rosie. and the rest of her friends, the crow, the snake. But the old man dies before them, because this is what they do when they take away the Shining's essence. They don't live forever. They just live longer. So yeah. And so Abra gets an idea to go after them, and decides to kill them all for what they did to Violet and the baseball boy. So she gets Danny and his other friend, who's also a past alcoholic, named Billy, and they get their deer rifles, and they're going to shoot all these evil people down with their deer rifles. Abra's dad does not like this. You could blame him, because he doesn't know Danny, and basically he has a point not to trust Danny. So, because they did get like a lot of their friends all killed because they used a bunny and made it look like it was Abra, and they killed all of them, but they killed the snake and the rest of them, except for the crow went through the house to go and get Abra and kidnap her, and he was bringing Abra to Rosie because Rosie was gonna go with them to go and get Abra because she was afraid of Abra because since Abra was able to sense tracks them, so they have to go and get Abra and take away her essence. But Rosie did go with them because Abra's been inside Rosie's mind, and so she stayed. And while the crow's taking Abra to Rosie, Danny gets controls Abra's mind and makes it where he forces the crow to hit a sign and die. So this is when they and then Danny finds Abra after Abra's dad died because the crow killed him, and his friend Billy was killed by a snake. Maybe he couldn't kill himself with the shot with the deer rifle, and they decided to go to Colorado. Now, I never read this book, but I heard apparently this doesn't happen in the book. They don't go to the Overlook Hotel, so I don't know how they kill Rosie in the book. So I never read any of Stephen King's books. If I read any of them, I probably would read the one that's based off of the prison movie. Before I read one of the horror movies, or Stand By Me, one of those two. And instead of these ones, because I would have to prepare myself for this. Some Stephen King. And I did not see him in this movie, so if you guys watch this movie, tell me you've seen Stephen King anywhere, because apparently he does cameos. He does the whole entire Stan Lee thing. So let me know, because he made himself so obvious in the second It movie, Chapter 2, but he did not make himself so obvious in this movie if he's in it. So, and they go to the Overlook Hotel, and apparently Danny goes in there and starts to mess with the boiler before this. And he goes in there, he sees his dad, Jack. And like I said, the guy they got to play the younger version of Jack looks just like Jack Nicholson, the way he did back then. And he was just like Lawrence, the one who tempted Jack to try to drink again, and he tried to make him kill his wife and his son. He is the first ghost that Jack sees. So, yeah. And, because he has to go in there and wake the ghosties up. Wake up the twins. Wake up the butler. And the naked old woman. So they can go and eat Rosie. Because if it's bad for Danny and Abra to be in there, imagine how hard it is for someone like Rosie, who eats the Shining people up. And he even gets the axe that his dad used to do the whole entire, here's Johnny. Like, me watching this movie was like really weird. It was the fact that we kept on seeing all this everywhere. And he opens all the boxes that he has all the ghosts in. And I kept on keep waiting for me to see, because they showed the elevator that the blood was coming when Rosie came. And they also made, and so I was just waiting for the twins to come around and say, "Come play with us, Danny, forever and ever and ever." So I was just waiting for that to happen, and they came, and they took over Danny after Rosie tried to Rosie tried to bait Danny to join her, kill Abra, because because he's an adult now, and they Rosie went inside Danny's mind without knowing, and she almost went inside one of the boxes, but the and she was gonna kill Danny because Danny said, "No, I'm not gonna become one of you guys." And start taking people's essence. So, and basically, Danny unleashed the hotel upon Rosie, and they ate her. So, and they used Danny's body to try to go and get Abra, but Danny hold them off and made it to where the hotel burned, which is how I think. Like, I still not read The Shining, but I think that's how um, Jack dies in the Shining book. So he burns down the hotel this time and he dies in there, and he trades places with Dick. So basically, he's there just to die everybody even though he died. So yeah. So this was a pretty good movie, even though it's not usually my cup of tea, but I wanted to watch it. So, yep. And I don't know if the ghost died because the last thing we see is Amber going to the bathroom and being there with a naked old lady. So, from 237. So, yeah, it was a good movie. There was a lot of scares in it. Believe me. So yeah. If you're ready for do you want to have a good scaring time, go and watch it. But it was a great movie. I don't know if Stephen King would like it since he didn't like The Shining, but hopefully you guys like it. So I'm gonna give this movie a 10 out of 10. Sully, here, kitty, 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 kitty. Sully, what do you give it? I give it uppercuts in my tail. So bye bye guys. Like, remember, subscribe, and get this head out of my head. Bye.